Ahoy! This weekend is the annual Air and Water Show in Chicago. Means a few things. Means number one, there's going to be thousands of boats out all along the waterfront looking to catch a glimpse of the action. It also means that some of your favorite anchorages like the playpen are closed. The safety zone will be enforced from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Make sure you stay east of the buoy line, and when anchoring, leave at least 100 yards between yourself and the buoys so there's an access channel for emergency and first responding vessels to get through. Out on the lake, it's deeper than what you're used to in the playpen and South Monroe and other anchorages. Make sure you use plenty of road so that your anchor sets firm and fast. We recommend using at least 5-to-1 scope. If it's breezy, probably 7-to-1. The number one reason why boats drag anchor is because they don't let out enough anchor road. Letting out enough road is important so that you get that nice, gentle slope from the bottom of the lake all the way up to the roller on the bow of your boat. We're going to show you some tips and tricks on how you can anchor safely in deeper water this weekend. First, when looking for a spot to anchor, make sure you have plenty of space around you between other boats. As the wind oscillates even slightly, boats are going to swing on their anchors. You want to make sure you have enough space to move safely. Second, when looking for a spot to drop your anchor, pay attention to the boats around you and which direction they're facing. Most boats this weekend are going to have well over 100 feet of road out, which means you need to be well over 150 feet, closer to 200 feet upwind of them. Number three, when anchoring the boat, you want to make sure you point the bow of the boat into the breeze. Try and keep the bow of the boat into the breeze as you let the road out and slowly back down so that the road pays out nicely along the lake bottom. Once you have the desired amount of road out, you can gently back down on the road until it becomes taut and you feel the anchor dig into the bottom. Anchors work by digging into the lake bottom. They don't work by just sitting on the bottom like a weight. Think about how heavy your boat is and how much effort it takes to move it. Think about how heavy your anchor is. Do you think a 20-pound anchor just sitting on the bottom would actually be able to prevent a 10,000 or 20,000 pound boat from moving? No. They work by digging into the bottom and creating a firm hold. You can see here in this video, the anchor turns and then all of a sudden starts to dig into the bottom as the boat backs down. Once it digs in firmly, it no longer moves. Here you can see a Danforth style anchor dug firmly into the lake bottom. This anchor is not going anywhere. As we look at these two examples, you can see why it's important to let out a large amount of road. When you let out a long amount of road, it allows that anchor chain to lay on the bottom of the lake, and as you back down, instead of pulling up at an angle, it pulls back on the anchor along the lake bottom so that it can dig in. If you don't have enough road out, the angle will be too sharp, and instead of pulling the anchor back to dig in, it'll actually pull it up and out of the lake bottom. One trick to tell if you've caught or not is while in reverse, put your thumb up, pick an object on land, not another boat, and sight that between your eye, your thumb, and that object. As long as you're not moving forward or back on that object, you're set. It's going to be important to be vigilant of what other boaters around you are doing. Not everybody's experienced, and not everybody's going to see this video. So there's a high likelihood that there's going to be a lot of boats drifting this weekend on anchor. Remember, boats drift downwind when they're at anchor. So when I'm at anchor, I'm always looking upwind, off my bow, and seeing if the boats upwind of me are getting closer. If they are, it means they are dragging. If I look downwind of me, off my stern, and I see I'm getting closer to boats that are downwind of me, it means I'm dragging. A good reminder is to make sure that the bitter end of your anchor road is secured to the boat. You'll probably be using a lot more road than you typically do in the playpen, so you'll want to make sure that the end of the road is secured so it doesn't come free and you lose your anchor and road. When retrieving your anchor, it's best if you have a helper up on your bow to guide you up on the road as you bring it back into the boat. Remember, the windlass is not designed to pull the boat up to the anchor. It's designed to lift the anchor and road off the bottom. So as you retrieve your anchor, it's best if you have someone on the bow to help guide you with hand signals as you slowly drive up while picking up the road to keep the most load off the windlass as possible. In the event that you overload your windlass, you will most likely trip the breaker. It's a good idea before you leave the dock to make sure you know where the breaker for your windlass is and how to reset it, so that in the event of an emergency, it can be done quickly. Another note for this weekend is be courteous to other boaters. As you're out on the waterfront, there's going to be lots and lots of boats anchored in areas where you're not used to seeing them. slow down. Don't wake anchored boats. Nobody likes to be waked when they're sitting at anchor. If you haven't turned around to look and see at what speed your wake becomes minimal, I suggest you do that. Slow down to a reasonable speed so that you're not disturbing all the other boats around you. Think, how would you like to be treated if you were at anchor and a boat passed you? A little bit of courtesy goes a long way. Another tip for this weekend is to make sure your VHF radio is functioning and that you monitor 16 while you're out on the water. In the event that you need assistance from Towboat US or other first responders, make sure you know how to clearly and accurately describe your position. Saying I'm 200 yards off of North Avenue doesn't cut it. There will be thousands of boats out there, and even on a regular day, that's a poor way to describe your location. Look at your chart plotter and understand how to find your coordinates. If you don't have a chart plotter, I suggest you download a charting app on your phone, or even using the compass app on your phone often will give you coordinates. Understand what coordinates are, how to read them, and how to give them quickly and accurately over the radio so that when you need assistance, you can be found quickly and efficiently. I hope you and your friends and family enjoy Air and Water Show weekend safely and responsibly. We'll be seeing you out there on the water.